Guys, so today I just want to talk about weight, BMI, healthy ranges, okay? So BMI, body mass index, it's a simple calculation, okay? It's your weight over your height squared. And what that does is it gives us these kind of ranges for what's healthy normal. It's not perfect. It's a crude measurement. Now personally, I'm a very big fan of crude measurements because they give you a ballpark idea. Now, when you look closely and you examine things more closely, you can get more detail. But in general, crude measurements are great because they give us a rough idea where we are. So below 18.5 BMI is underweight. Now, I want you to be really careful when we're looking at fat loss and stuff like that we don't end up in this range, okay? The 22, 23, 24 range is suitable for most people, okay? Likewise, above 25, we want to try and avoid going too high above 25. Now, there are exceptions to this. If you're, say, proper weightlifters with really heavy weights, those guys are going to have, and ladies, are going to have a higher BMI simply by the muscle mass, okay? Now, personally, I'm 24.5 BMI, okay? So I weighed myself this morning at 79.4 kilo. I'm 180 tall, and 24.5 BMI. I try and stay around the 25 range. I've discovered that if I drop below 76 kilo, my performance suffers and the ladies in my life get annoyed that I look tired and old, okay? And likewise, if I go too high above. So I found that 78 to 81 is my optimal range, okay? So I try and stay in that range. Now, according to my Tanita scales, I'm 18% body fat, right? Now, body fat is actually the more interesting number that we want to look at. So BMI is a crude measurement. Body fat is the one that's going to determine our health. Now, there's safe and unsafe levels of body fat. So if we think of the fat that we have, there's essential body fat and non-essential body fat, okay? And of the non-essential body fat, there's visceral, the stuff that you can see, and then there's the stuff inside, the padding around our organs. So each of our organs wants to be lined with a little bit of fat. Well, most of our organs want to be lined with a little bit of fat to keep the heat in, and in case of impact or anything like that, they want a little cushion, okay? Bear in mind, your brain has an awful lot of fat in it, okay? So fat is not unhealthy. We need it to live, all right? Visceral fat then is the stuff on the surface. That's the stuff that we see. And the real simple test, right, is just grab a chunk of belly, okay? So there you go, that's my 18% right there, okay? So you grab a little chunk of belly and that'll tell you how much fat you have roughly. So if you can grab a great big fistful, that's a little bit too much. If you can grab a pinch, like I consider myself very healthy, okay? And I have that much body fat. Now, if I lived in a warmer climate, that's a little bit too much body fat. I want to cut that down a little bit. But because I live in Ireland, that little healthy fat layer is insulation for me. So I like having that. It also has other uses such as pain threshold and things like that, okay? I can take the cold a bit more and I can take a bit more beating. And I'm slightly heavier when I hit things. So that's my own personal take on it. So all I want you to know from this video really is BMI, crude measurement, that's going to tell you roughly, keep you in these sort of healthy norms, all right? And although not perfect, try to aim for 19 to 25. 22, 23 is a fantastic place to be. Don't worry if you're a little bit up or a little bit down. We're all a bit different. But certainly if you're like 30 or up, we want to bring that down. And if you're below, I'd say even below 20, we want to push that up a little bit. You don't want to be too skinny, okay? That's particularly in Ireland where it's cold. Cheers, guys.